everybody, this is Heat 3 of the CKNA Grand Nationals number 7, held at Newcastle Motorsports Park in Indiana. I had a not-so-good Heat 2, got knocked off the track and ended up, I think I was only able to get back to 33rd position after getting bumped off. So I have a lot of ground to make up in this Heat 3. When looking at the times, a lot of the people in my general vicinity in this race, there are 2 guys behind me that are actually faster than me lap time wise, but most of the people directly in front of me, looking at lap times, are a little slower than me lap times. So I'm confident I can get around some of these folks, but sometimes it's a little bit tough to get around them. This, passing isn't the easiest thing at this track when you're not massively faster than the person in front of you. So we're coming back around, getting ready to line up as you've seen in the other couple videos. One of the rules on this, in these heats, or one of the rules that the CKNA has, is that you have to stay within your tram lines. And it's something I didn't remember too well. Because, hey, it wouldn't be Grand Nationals for me if I didn't get a 2-position penalty for driving out of the tram lines, which I'm about to do at the end of the straightaway here. Once we start to... I got pretty close to the start-finish line, but I still pulled out of them. And I don't even think I remembered that I did it. But I'm pretty sure I swerved to the right and come out of those lines. You can see the 2 lines on either side of my tires. I come out right now and start, I tried to get in, nope. They weren't playing. They gave me a 2-position penalty. So again, in some of the other heats, when I got knocked off the track, some of these people I drove past. How in the world did, he must have just got in front of me on the start. I didn't get a very good start, because I did finish in front of the 151 on Heat 2. Now those 2 guys right there, they also must have got knocked off the track in the previous heat, because they had pretty fast times, and they were forging through. Again, my first lap was not so good in this heat. I probably dropped back about 3 or 4 positions already. So I'm probably driving around at about 37th right now. I was getting used to the track. My kart really wasn't over gripping. I wasn't getting the hops around any corners or anything like that. And this whole group isn't really pulling away from me. Now the bad thing is, though, again, every lap that you spend around, behind somebody or people that are somewhat slower than you, you're just losing distance to the front, because they're still able to drive at, their lap pace, which I was consistently in the 116s. The top groups were in the 115s. And there was still a decent amount of people riding around in the 117s. And that's about where I'm at right now. So each lap I'm losing about a second. And so I caught back up to the 151. The other guys were able to get past him. I found that usually he has pretty good straightaway speed. So it does make it difficult to get around him. I'm just trying to, figure out when I'm going to have to try to either get a good run on him coming out of one of the corners and try to catch him early in the, in the straightaway, or he's going to have to mess up. But he doesn't usually mess up. So I tried to lay back out a little bit so I could get a run on it, but I went too far out. And if I'd have spaced that out a little bit better, I gained on him up until the end of the straightaway, but didn't have any room to get around him on the inside. And then he keeps it pretty tight through here, but right now I'm trying to actually not run into him, because I don't want to knock myself back momentum-wise. I want to try to get under him. right here, and I don't think I'm going to get it right here. I can't remember. Nah, he's going to come back across. Sometimes I saw people trying to make some passes down through there, but the line he takes almost eliminates all the passing lanes. I see I get a good run right here, but he stays tight all through there. I try to duck under here, but I'm just going to end up getting blasted over that curb, which I kind of did anyways, which knocked me back. So it's almost like you're starting over, and as you can see, the groups in front of me, they've all stretched out, so this isn't going so well for me right now. This is only an 8-lapper, so I think right now we're about 2 or 3 laps in. I'm starting to kind of get a little frustrated. I need to hurry up and get around the 151 as soon as I can. So this time I tried to stay tight on him through all this section here, and I'm going to try to get past him on this straightaway here. But again, I don't quite have the straightaway speed. He's usually got good straightaway speed. That's weird how that bump jostled my camera. It almost looked like it skipped the film a little bit. So now I'm trying to get a run again right down through here, because I could usually get a good run through that section. And I was able to finally get a good run. And I'm gonna get the pass right here. And fortunately, the group that was starting to spread out on me in front of me, they have kind of they've regrouped a little bit. So I have plenty of karts in front of me to try to attack and get past. But time is running out. I'm probably still 34th or so, or 35th at this point. There's no way I'm in the 20s, which is what I'm trying to do. But I am shooting off memory. I don't really remember for sure. I actually might be at about 31 right now. Because I forgot there could be some attrition. With that many karts in a race, you get a few guys throwing chains or just get knocked off the track. And sometimes they get knocked off and you don't even see where they went. You don't realize that somebody is off. And then they pull in behind you. And there's just somebody behind you never knew about. I think they just gave the halfway there signal right there coming past. Yeah, see, there's a guy coming in the grass, so that's a position that, not by passing anybody, in close proximity to me, but I think I'm going to get 2 guys right here. The one guy goes off the track out there. My buddy in the 25 is out there doing some work, as they say. So I got past. So in that last little half of a lap, 3 karts ended up behind me. I've got the 25 in front of me, and I'm going to try to see if I can get around him. He's actually one of my buddies from the OVKA. His son came out. This is their first Grand, so they were enjoying it. They're having fun learning the track. And they were picking up time pretty well. The good thing about the Grands is you don't really have to know a ton about the track. It helps, obviously. But you get a lot of track time, a lot of seat time at this event. So you won't be thinking about, really the layout once the race gets going towards the end of the weekend. You will definitely know where you're going, and you will just be trying to figure out ways to, shave time off. You might even have the opportunity to mess with your handling. I didn't mess with my handling a lot in this race because this was pretty much the first real race in the kart that I'm driving in this one. So I was just trying to get used to the kart itself, get a feel for how it handled before I really was going to start messing too much with the handling. I did adjust my rear width a little bit, but that was pretty much it. Played around with tire pressures somewhat, but not a lot. The 25 is doing a pretty good job of holding me off. We closed up the gap on the guy in front of him. I think that's the 62. The laps are winding down. I give him a little bump in the straight right there, let him know I'm back there. A lot of times you don't have the foggiest clue if anybody's right on you. The helmets are usually pretty well sealed up. Usually your neck brace thing keeps the noise from coming up under your helmet also. And unless you see somebody in your peripheral vision, you don't really know they're back there, unless you turn your head. But, a lot of times, there's a lot of activity. You don't have a whole lot of time to be looking left or right. But he sees I'm there. I decide to give him a bump. I'm not going to try to get around him on the inside. was a little too close to where the turn was for me to try to make that move. But again, I'm laying back just a hair, and now I know I'm going to get a good run back up through here. And that way I don't waste my momentum. I think I'm able to get under him. Yeah, I'm able to get under him right there, and I pop up on the 62. So the 62, again, I think actually the 25 and I were both maybe a little bit faster than him, but he did a pretty good job of protecting his line and everything, and not making it easy for us to pass him. And he didn't have like any blatant mess ups. I will say that I probably drive not as rough as I see other people drive sometimes. I was trying not to bang into people, although I don't know, man. When I watch some other videos, maybe I should be bumping people just a little bit more. That way they, when someone's beating on the back of you, sometimes it does cause you to screw up a little bit. And, usually you're not getting hit hard enough that it really disrupts your actual line or driving. I mean, sometimes it does, but what it really does is it kind of gets you thinking that you've got somebody behind you that is faster than you, and then, you start, you have the potential to start overdriving if somebody's behind you because you're trying to hold them off, and so you think you have to go into something a little bit harder. But I got around it pretty easy right there. And now I'm going to try to see if I can reel that next guy in. Although I really wasn't paying attention, I think we might be on the last lap or the second to last lap. And therefore my time has run out. But I did make it to 28th position in this race. And unfortunately, with my 2-position penalty, that knocked me back to 30th. And then when they do their weird mathematical equation, I qualified 22nd, finished the first heat in 22nd, then I think I finished the second heat in 33rd. With my penalty, I finished this one in 30th, so I think that put me at a 29th position for the start of the final. Again, not so good. And there we have it, folks. That is the checkered flag right there. So that race had a pretty decent amount of action in it for me. It was a nice little challenge. I got passed by a few guys, but then I passed some other dudes too, so it was a good time. So see you for the final. It's next.